Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If I asked you to name the biggest enemy of healthy aging, what would you say? Heart disease, cancer? They're certainly up there, they're major players, no doubt. But honestly, they're not the real thief of our independence in our later years. The thing that quietly steals our freedom, that slowly robs us of our dignity when we get older, is something much quieter, and it lives inside your body. I call it the invisible line. On one side of that line is freedom and independence. Being able to drive, to cook, to travel, to live your life on your terms. On the other side of that line, a wheelchair or needing someone to hold your arm just to stand up, just to get around. Here's a quick test for you right now. Without using your hands, I want you to stand up from your chair. Just stand up. Go ahead, notice anything. Did you rise up like you were on springs, rock solid and steady? Or did you feel that tiny little wobble as you got up, that little subconscious sway? Don't underestimate that little wobble. If you felt even a little wobble, please don't ignore it. That's not just getting older, that's a high risk warning signal from your body because that slight wobble. It's often the very first step toward losing your balance, and losing your balance is what pushes you over that line. New research out of Europe, recent studies are showing us something fascinating. The thing that determines your quality of life in your later years isn't how fast you run or how far you can swim. It's your balance. So today, I'm going to share a complete dynamic balance routine. It's a set of simple, practical exercises that will help you stay firmly planted on the right side of that invisible line. We're talking just 10 minutes a day to help make sure you can still walk into a grocery store with confidence when you're 80, still get your own groceries, still live life on your terms. Independently dynamic balance sounds like some fancy gym equipment or complicated physical therapy, right? But it's actually very simple. It's just training your body to find and maintain stability. Think about standing on one foot. You feel yourself wobble, right? In that split second, your brain and your muscles have to have a conversation. They have to work together to pull you back upright and stabilize you, or try walking in a straight line with your eyes closed. When you take away your vision, your most important reference point for balance, your body's internal GPS has to step up. That's what we call your proprioception and your vestibular system. It's the system that tells you where your body is in space, what position you're in. Without you having to look, these moves, they look easy. They look like you're barely moving, like you're not really working up a sweat. But in that moment, you're fighting to stay upright. You are powerfully activating and strengthening three absolutely core systems in your body. System number one, your nervous system. Think of this as your body's high-speed internet, its communication network. It's responsible for quickly transmitting commands from your brain to your muscles, making your reactions faster and more precise. System number two, your vestibular system. This is located deep inside your inner ear. It's your body's built-in gyroscope. It's responsible for sensing, balance, and movement. And it stops you from feeling dizzy or wobbly when you turn your head or change direction. System number three, your musculoskeletal control system. This is the software that precisely directs hundreds of muscles all over your body, telling them exactly when to contract, when to relax, and how much force to use to keep your body stable and upright. And here's why this matters. A study from a European Research Institute on Aging found something incredible. Older adults who consistently did dynamic balance training reduced their risk of accidental death by a full 27%. What does that number actually mean in real life? It means avoiding the fall that leads to a hip fracture. It means avoiding the fall that leads to intracranial bleeding, to head trauma. It means those fatal risks drop dramatically. It means more years of living independently in your own home. And honestly, being able to live independently for longer, that is so much more meaningful for our later years than getting a six-pack or visible abs. We're talking about quality of life, not just aesthetics. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Doc, I get what you're saying, I understand, but isn't this just rehab? This is for people who've had a stroke or for people who've fallen and broken something. I'm fine. I'm healthy. I can eat whatever I want. I can run. I can lift weights. I'm active. I don't need this kind of stuff. If that's you, if that thought just crossed your mind, please hear me out. If you have that thought, that is actually the single biggest mistake you can make. It's the biggest misconception out there about balance training. The entire point of dynamic balance training is prevention. It's not about fixing something after it's broken. It's about preventing the break in the first place. It's like changing the oil in your car before the engine seizes up, before it starts making that terrible knocking sound. The best time to start is when you feel absolutely fine, when your body feels like nothing is wrong, when you feel like you're in good health. That is exactly the time to start. That's how you push aging back by decades. That's how you get the best possible results. Why? Because your nervous system, that high speed internet I mentioned, it starts to decline as early as your 30s. And here's the thing, it's sneaky, it's subtle. It's not like one day you just can't walk anymore. It's like that old analogy, it's a frog in boiling water. The temperature goes up so slowly, the frog doesn't notice until it's too late. It happens so gradually, so quietly that you don't notice it until one day it's quietly stolen your body control, one tiny bit at a time. Let me ask you this. Think carefully. Have you ever had any of these feelings, even occasionally? Have you been crossing the street, you see a car coming, you try to jump back or step out of the way, and your legs just don't react as fast as they used to, like you're half a beat slower compared to when you were younger? Have you been in the kitchen, you turn around quickly to grab something from the counter, and you feel a little unsteady, a little wobbly, and maybe you almost bump into the counter? Have you been going down the stairs and your knee suddenly feels a little soft, a little weak, like it might give out, so you instinctively grab the railing just to be safe? This isn't just getting old and useless. This is your nervous system, your coordination system waving a little yellow flag at you. It's saying, hey, my wiring is getting old. The signal is lagging. Can you please do some maintenance down here? If we ignore these flags, if we just accept the wobble as no big deal, we're gambling, because if that lag causes one bad fall that puts you in the hospital, by then it's too late for prevention. Now you're in recovery mode, and please remember this one sentence because it's crucial. Nerves heal much, much slower than muscles. You can build muscle in a few months. You can see visible results from consistent strength training, but a damaged or degenerated nerve pathway, trying to rebuild that connection to reactivate it, that takes exponentially more effort. And honestly, the results aren't guaranteed. That's not fear mongering. That's just the natural law of neuroplasticity. Once something has degenerated for too long, trying to fix it becomes exponentially harder. So please don't wait for this precision machine. Your body to start making strange noises before you think about maintenance. Don't wait for it to break down. The best maintenance is what you do when the machine is running perfectly. It's about regular maintenance and 10 minutes a day of balance training. It's the best, cheapest, most effective maintenance you can give your nervous system. See, compared to exercises that specifically train your chest muscles or your thighs, balance training hits the small, deep parts of your body that are more critical for stability, the little parts that usually get ignored, like the tiny stabilizer muscles in your calves and around your ankles. They're small, they're easy to overlook, but they're like the roots of a tree. They anchor you to the ground, they stabilize your knees and your ankles. Running or jumping, a lot of sports and exercises don't always specifically target these tiny muscles, but when you're standing on one foot, fighting not to let your ankle wobble, those little guys are working overtime. They are strengthening like crazy. It also trains your reflex arc in your brainstem. That's your body's most primitive emergency system, the one you don't think about when you start to slip on ice, when you're about to fall. That reflex is what makes you throw your arms out or adjust your posture in zero point 0.1 seconds to avoid falling. Balance training rehearses that process constantly. It makes that emergency reaction faster and more accurate. And it trains your sensory integration in your brain, the part that processes all the information about balance. It tells you where your head is if your body is straight or tilted. Eyes closed training. That's incredibly powerful. That strengthens this internal navigation system, allowing it to accurately locate itself, even without your eyes helping out. Once you wake up and strengthen these deep hidden parts of your body, amazing things start to happen. It's like fixing a faulty wire in your house that's been flickering for years. Suddenly the whole room is bright and stable. You'll notice three distinct changes. Number one, when you walk, you feel rooted to the ground. You feel stable, planted, like your feet are gripping the earth. No more wobbling. Number two, when you stand for a long time, your lower back doesn't ache as much because your core muscles have learned to engage correctly and they're taking the pressure off your spine. And number three, and this might surprise you, you might feel calmer, more stable emotionally, you might feel less anxious. Why? Because when your body feels stable and secure, your brain stops being in a state of high alert. Your brain stops constantly worrying about the potential risk of falling. When your brain relaxes, your anxiety naturally drops, your mood improves. Body stability isn't just about preventing falls, that's just the beginning. It's the first domino in your overall health. If that first domino stands firm, then a whole cascade of other health problems can be prevented. Here's something fascinating. Stability reduces chronic inflammation in your body. There's a nasty low-grade chronic inflammation that lurks inside many of us. It's like a little flame burning day after day, damaging our organs, our joints, our tissues. It's the real driver behind so many chronic diseases of aging, like arthritis, diabetes, even cardiovascular disease. Where does this chronic inflammation come from? A huge reason is too much friction inside the body. If your body is unstable, if your alignment is off, then every step you take is causing abnormal wear and tear. Your knees and hips are taking force at a bad angle. Your cartilage is undergoing abnormal wear. Your tendons are being pulled the wrong way. That minimal damage accumulating day after day triggers inflammation responses inside your body. A lot of people think knee pain is just aging. They say, oh, it's just wear and tear, it's unavoidable. But actually, a huge part of it is just poor stability causing long-term structural damage. And here's the really important part: if you ignore the instability and you just blindly do more squats, more leg presses, trying to get stronger, you might actually make it worse because your movement pattern itself is broken. More strength applied to a broken pattern just applies more force in the wrong places. It'll wear out your knee faster. So the secret to longevity isn't how much force your muscles can produce, it's whether you can use that force in the right places. And balance training precisely teaches your brain and your muscles to work together to use force in the most efficient, the most correct way, especially when you're off balance. Second major benefit: stability improves your metabolism, your sleep, and your hormones. When your body is constantly in a shaky, unstable state, your brain lives in a state of high alert, always ready to deal with the danger of falling. This chronic stress quietly consumes a huge amount of your energy, and it also pumps out a stress hormone called cortisol. When that hormone is chronically elevated, it disrupts your normal hormone rhythms. It makes your blood sugar unstable, it makes your body more likely to store fat, it makes it hard to fall asleep at night, and leaves you feeling tired during the day. Ever feel exhausted even though you did nothing all day? You wake up in the morning after a full night's sleep and still feel drained. The root of the problem might be that your body control is so poor that the internal energy burn is just too high. When you train for stability, when your body becomes stable, your brain gets the message that you're safe. It turns down that hypervigilance, cortisol levels drop, and then your whole system, your hormones, your metabolism, and your sleep can finally get into a positive cycle. Okay, enough science, let's get practical. How do we actually do this? I've prepared a complete progressive routine for you. We're going to go from easy to harder, step by step. Level 1, beginner, rebuilding basic stability. Level 2, intermediate, challenging dynamic stability. Level 3, advanced, enhancing total body control. You can choose where to start based on your own body. Remember, one principle above all: safety first, progress gradually. And when you practice, it's best to have a wall or a sturdy chair next to you within arm's reach in case you get unsteady and need to hold on to something. Let's start with level 1, beginner, rebuilding basic stability. There are 3 specific exercises here. Exercise number 1, supported single leg stand. Stand next to a sturdy chair or a wall. Lightly rest one hand on it for support. Then slowly lift one foot just a few inches off the ground. Try to keep your body stable. Feel the muscles in your ankle and your lower leg working. Aim for 30 seconds. Then switch to the other foot. If that feels easy, you can try just lightly resting your fingertips on the support, not putting much weight on it. Exercise number 2, the sit to stand exercise. Find a sturdy, stable chair at a good height, feet flat on the floor, shoulder width apart, without using your hands for support. Slowly stand up from the chair. Stand up all the way. Then, with control, slowly sit back down. Repeat this 10 to 15 times. This exercise is fantastic for strengthening your core and your leg control. Exercise number 3, heel to toe walking. Find a straight line on your floor like a seam in the tile. Then walk as if you're on a tightrope. Place the heel of one foot directly in front of the toes of the other foot. Walk forward like this for 10 to 15 steps. As you walk, look forward at a fixed point. Don't look down at your feet. Now let's look at level 2, intermediate, challenging dynamic stability. Again, 3 exercises here. Exercise number 1, unsupported single leg stand, building on the beginner level. Now try letting go completely. No hands, no support. Stand on one foot. If you feel like you're going to fall, you can open your arms like wings to help with balance. Aim for 30 seconds or more on each side. Exercise number 2, stand on a cushion. Place a pillow or a folded thick towel on the floor. Stand on it with both feet. The unstable surface will challenge your ankles and your nervous system more if that feels stable. You can try standing on one foot on the cushion. Exercise number 3, eyes closed stand. Start with feet shoulder width apart. Find your balance. Then slowly close your eyes. You will immediately feel your body wobble more. This is normal. Focus on using your body to feel the balance. Start with 10 seconds, then slowly increase the time. This exercise is incredibly effective for your vestibular system. Important note, this must be done in a completely safe environment near a wall. Now let's look at level 3, advanced, enhancing total body control. Two exercises here. Exercise number 1, single leg stand with upper body movement while standing on one leg. Try adding some upper body movements. For example, slowly turn your head left and right, or take a small ball and pass it from one hand to the other. This challenges your brain's coordination. Exercise number 2, Tai Chi starting form or cloud hands. Tai Chi is widely recognized as one of the best forms of dynamic balance training. The slow, continuous shifting of weight is excellent for body control. You don't need to learn a long routine, just learning simple moves like the starting posture or cloud hands and practicing them for a few minutes daily can bring you great benefits. Now, how do you practice these for the best results? 3 simple tips. Tip number 1, each day choose just 2 or 3 of these exercises. Do 2 to 3 sets of each. Tip number 2, keep the total time to about 10 to 15 minutes total. That's all you need. Tip number 3, consistency is key. Make it a habit. Integrate it into your daily life. For example, you can stand on one foot while brushing your teeth. You can practice sit to stands during television commercial breaks. All right? Let's quickly review the key takeaways. First point, balance is your shield in your later years. The real longevity exercise isn't just about building nice muscles. It's about training the deep control systems in your body. Using force correctly is more important than just having a lot of force. Second point, consistent dynamic balance training brings you 3 major benefits. Benefit 1, it maximally prevents the fatal risk of falls. Benefit 2, it reduces chronic inflammation and joint pain caused by poor stability. Benefit 3, when your body feels secure, your stress hormones drop, and your sleep, metabolism, and hormones all improve. Finally, the safety guidelines. Before you get started, please keep these 4 safety rules in mind. Rule 1, safety always comes first. Always have a sturdy wall or chair within reach. Rule 2, don't rush progress, gradually based on your own abilities. Rule 3, make it a habit. Consistency is more effective than occasional intense workouts. Rule 4, listen to your body. If you have any sharp pain or severe dizziness, stop immediately. Consult your doctor if it continues. This video is for educational purposes only. Always consult your own doctor before making changes to your health routine. 10 minutes a day. It won't make you lose weight overnight. It won't erase your wrinkles. But it can help ensure that for decades to come, you can still walk steadily on your own 2 feet without needing help. You can still take care of yourself. That kind of freedom and independence, that's the truly high quality, dignified longevity we should all want. Starting today, give yourself this 10-minute investment. Try that simplest exercise. The single leg stand. I wish everyone a steady, stable, and high quality later life. Well, see you in the next video. Take care.